We're talking about Shrek 2. I think that's something. Welcome to the show. I think that's something really good with the first one.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, this one came out of the blue."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, this is unexpected. This was
is doing well.
Yeah, this is Mike Myers doing his fat bastard impression.
Yes.
Sorry, his voice not impression.
But for kids.
But for kids. And they were like, "Oh, we're going to be a bit edgy. We're going to be a bit risque,
Tongue in cheek.
bit tongue in cheek, a bit dry. Something for mama and dad, as well as the kids." and then I think they kind of went with that for the second one, and then lost probably the original team for the third one.
The third one is a lot more for kids.
Yeah. It was like, well, Mike Myers probably isn't involved as much as he used to. He's more so just doing it for the paycheck, which is a shitter one.
Yeah, that's true.
But
yeah.
how can? Because it's probably not either his fault.
Yes.
Because it's the studio be like, okay, guys,
We've got the money to make a third one of these.
We're going to do a third one, except to get that money, a bunch of studio execs are now going to write.
Right. Okay, fine.
So probably Mike Myers and the rest of them wouldn't have as much involvement or as much like free to play, and studio execs would be like, no, Shrek's want me more family, more for the kids.
Yes.
So Michael, that sounds like fun, and we'll just need to do half the amount of the risky jokes.
If you could get rid of some of the hijinks and turn it into a heartfelt, emotional scene,
yes,
that would be great for us and the marketing.
If we could have the two best friends inevitably fall out and then get back together to, solve the greater evil.
How do they fall out? Well, we'll write something. I imagine one miscommunication that could be very easily resolved, but isn't.
And easy,
cool,
just,
right?
Easy just, hey man, that's not on. Well, the cold open for reviewing the highs and lows of Shrek 1 and 2.
We're not touching the third one.
Yeah, fuck the third. And what was right? So the third one was.
There was Forever After, or was
because one was about
Rumpelstiltskin,
and the other one was about Prince Charming. No, King Arthur.
King Arthur, yes. That was the third one.
That was the third one because that was the one I've seen the least.
Yes.
The fourth one always seems to be on.
Yes.
The first and second one seems to go on around Christmas.
Yep. The fourth one is always on at Christmas.
I never see the third one.
Nope. It didn't do well in comparison to any other of the Shreks.
I just can't remember it.
Is the third one...
Was there a Puss in Boots movie?
Yes, there was. It's called Puss in Boots.
Shocking.
Shocking, isn't it? That's Antonio Banderas in it. Can you imagine?
I hope so. No,
played...
I'll play the side character in Shrek, but I'll not have my own movie.
I love the idea of like Antonio Banderas being like Zorro and filming Zorro and then basically doing the exact same thing as a voice actor for a cat.
Like Mike Myers.
Yeah. God, yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth one is...
Who else was it? Because it's... Okay, now this is where I try not to be racist. It was...
Excuse you?
Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
As Donkey.
Yes.
Who... I guess was just being Eddie Murphy.
Just being Eddie Murphy, yes.
And then Cameron Diaz tried her best.
Yeah, as she does with every movie, she tries her best. She did a good job in the first one.
It's awful to say, but it's probably the reality of Cameron Diaz's career. If the 90s and 2000s wasn't as sexualised as they were, she probably wouldn't have the career she had. Because let's be real, what was it, Horrible Teacher or something?
Bad Teacher, which was an awful film.
Funny, she threw the basketball off that kid's head.
I get it.
Remember that time?
Yeah.
Remember that? What was
it's
it?
Quite sad that that's what bases a career in the early 2000s and 90s.
Like, I mean, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that these actresses aren't talented, because a lot of them are. Like, Sandra Bullock, Angelina Jolie, Anne Hathaway.
Yep, a lot of their early stuff is very good.
All really good shit. Really good stuff that like defined, because it was in the same genre as and era as what that combination of words were.
Those two were, yes. The Juron.
Fuck off.
The chevron.
It was the same as like George Clooney and Brad Pitt.
Yes.
It was that Ocean's 11. All these people. This is
An ensemble cast,
Hollywood. You know, that proper Harvey Weinstein time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But it was just like.
But then the 2000s happened, and it was like, but what if we
low cut jeans? You can see
for God's
quite
sake.
a lot of hip.
Yes.
Something
that's not going to age well.
But it was like these actresses that weren't the Angelina Jolies and the Jennifer Anistons.
Yes.
These got demoted to Charlie's Angels.
Yes.
Sadly, more Lucy Liu because she was also Asian.
Yeah.
And Hollywood was like, oh, but she's
Asian.
She's
okay.
hot. She's hot and she's fun to look at.
Frick's sake.
But she'll always be a B-lister. She was good in Sherlock, but she wasn't. And that wasn't the English version, the movie. That was Elementary. Yeah. That was alright, that
C-list, basically. Yeah. You've got the movie, you've got the TV show, you've got the secondary TV show.
You've got the American-style House version of it. I'm not saying House wasn't, like, House was brilliant.
House was great for the first 2 seasons, and every episode was the exact same episode.
He's got lupus, and I figured it out in the last 5 minutes. You are Columbo in a hospital.
What I would say, because it's interesting that you bring Cameron Diaz up in, like, dodgy films from that era, because there was one that was actually really good, and I'm sure we've had this conversation before, but because it was seen as what would be called, like a skin flick, where it's got a storyline, but
American
it was like marketed as, look at all of these girls, look at how much of a leg you can see. Ooh. Let's watch this movie. And that it was Sucker Punch. Have you ever seen the movie Sucker Punch?
I imagine that's one of the movies that somebody I barely know has said, oh, do you know what's really cool?
Yeah.
Do you know and I went, cool man.
Cool man. Sucker Punch is...
Sure, I'll watch it at 11 o'clock at night if it rocks onto the TV. I'm like, American Pie 2 again? No, fuck it. Well, I'm not watching South Park, so I guess so.
Well, Sucker Punch was the one where it was like marketed as, look at this ensemble cast of ladies, we'll put them in very small amounts of clothes, and give them guns and samurai swords, and they'll fight Nazis. And that's pretty much what Cavill, but that's what the entirety of the marketing was. And you watch the film, and it's like, no, hang on. The film is, this girl has gone through like some mental trauma, and this is her form of coping and working through the things, because she's like, I won't spoil it, because I would, of all of the old films that we talk about, watch Sucker Punch. It's pretty good.
I'm doing the Google. By the way, producer Bethan isn't here. Also, hi. Also, welcome to the actual episode 8 of Goodevening, boys.
If you watched last week's episode 8, it was a lie.
We lied to you. It's what we did. If we said it was episode 8, it was actually episode 7. And as always, David, we're recording on a Monday.
Yes.
It is Monday, the Thursday, the 9th. And it is around 20 to 7.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Pull up a chair. We'll be chatting for the next hour or so.
We've got some shit to say.
We've got. If you're looking for it.
Surprisingly, we're going to be gatekeeping video games. I know you weren't expecting it, and it's quite shocking to hear. Also, for the past, how long are we recording? 12 minutes. 10 probably with the audio checks.
Yeah.
We've had a nice roaring fire.
It consists of one candle put between us and a monitor that has a fire running on it.
We'll take a picture that hopefully future Niall will put in the picture so you can... Oh, no, are we outing the podcast room? Are we ready to do that? Are you ready to see my spare bedroom?
Are you ready to see the stickers?
Yeah, the stickers!
Yeah, sticker wall. One day when we can afford a camera, you'll see all of the wall you wish.
I mean, you'll see the wardrobe.
The wardrobe, the bed.
The bed I'm sitting on. Yeah, right, we're in here an hour and a half, 2 hours at a time.
Yeah.
Chatting absolute shit. Of course, we're so grouchy.
Yes.
You're in an uncomfortable as fuck computer chair.
Which you physically can't move in because you can hear it.
Yeah, it creaks constantly. And I'm sitting...
Legs akimbo.
Legs crossed applesauce.
Crisscross applesauce over there.
Sitting on the bed, just like, I guess this sounds okay. I mean, we know there's an echo. There's a fucking wardrobe in here.
We can't afford a camera, never mind foam.
I know. I mean, the fire is roaring, mate. It is. What scent is it? What scent is this fire?
It's candle scent.
It's number 3.
It's midnight jasmine.
Ooh.
But it's not even midnight, so should we... do we turn it off? Do we blow it? Do we turn it off? David, you idiot. Turn that candle off, mate, can you?
Millennial Zoomer shit. Oh, is that the save icon? That's a floppy disk.
Shut up. They made the save icon a real thing. Shut up. Here's a thing.
What were we talking about?
Viewer, would you like to hear Niall get really annoyed? Speaking of things being turned into real things that aren't a real thing, that actually are a real thing.
No.
So, Fortnite decided to put a certain video game character set into its game.
Right. Carry on. I
Which
just want to preface that I have tattoos. In case I haven't said it before, this is the thing. I have several tattoos.
Yes.
Carry on.
We won't give descriptions, apart from one that I will.
Yeah.
Just in case he ever goes on the run and we have to identify him.
I basically have a barcode.
Yeah.
These are tattoos. If you have a tattoo, the police can find you. You have a barcode. I've just noticed as well on the waveform, just to pull the audience away for a second. You're not invited. This is between me and David.
Yeah.
It shows the individual audio files per ear.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's so cool.
We can take each other's audio file. I can add a sound effect.
That's genius.
Carry on. We were talking about
We're slowly learning about audio quality.
Which is real bad for you.
Thank you for coming on this journey. If I was you, I'd start at episode 10. But anyway.
Hopefully we've got some fucking foam.
Anyway, Fortnite added in some characters from the Gears of War universe. Which means, Niall.
Yes, David, what does that mean?
That your tattoo of Gears of War is a tattoo of a Fortnite game. Which means that when young kids, I don't know why, but if they ever see your tattoo, there's a small percentage that one will say, "Why have you got a Fortnite tattoo?" And that's hilarious.
It's not the why, it's the mum, look.
Look, it's a Fortnite.
That guy's got a Fortnite tattoo. Oh no.
How does it feel?
Oh, well, first of all, I feel old.
Yeah.
Mainly because the Marcus that they've added is the Marcus from Gears of War 5.
Oh, so it's not even...
It's old man Marcus. It's Xbox One in Windows 10. I was thinking Marcus from, black hair,
back in the day,
bandana, the little poofy hat, no beard, just the soul patch.
Because the kids won't have played that game now.
That was too early to that. Oh god, it was a better time. Fucking kids on the TikTok.
These kids on the TikTok watching these video games. So,
Speaking, this is one of the things me and David have talked about before the podcast. While we're on the topic of video games, which it's doubtful that we'll get back on this subject, so I just want to squeeze this in here. One of the things I wanted to bring up, and I need to get myself ready because this is going to be
getting limber.
This is going to be a thing. Midnight releases. We remember, if you're of a certain age, you remember them well. It was quite an exciting time.
Old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back
90s.
Back pain. Yeah.
You've developed back pain. You've got a pain in just random places and you don't know why.
You make noise when you get out of chairs.
There's always that click.
Yeah, always with me.
No matter which way you bend, twist it, pressure, there's always the click.
Always a click.
Remember that? You know what? Every time you lift your shoulder and it just pops.
Yep.
Fun. Oh yeah. If you're of that age, you remember a midnight release. You remember it coming out on a Thursday. That was my neighbour who heard that. If it was on a school night, if you were one of the jammy boys, you got the Friday off because you went there on a Friday. You went to game on a Thursday, pick up Call of Duty Black Ops 1.
Yes.
And then your mum was like, yeah, whatever.
We had different mums.
No, this never happened to me.
Oh, right, okay. We were the cool kids.
No. My mum was like, no.
No.
First of all, you're not going to town at midnight on a school night.
You'll pick it up on the weekend like everyone else.
Yeah, but Mum still works me.
But Mum, they'll be sold out.
Oh, Nathan's already going to be a prestige hire. Oh, man.
Oh, God, I remember those days. Carry on. Otherwise, I will tangentially move on.
So, yeah, if you're one of these people, you remember it.
Yes.
But there was always a lot of hype.
Yes. Big hype. Especially with the Call of Duty.
Yeah.
With the Call of Duty.
With
Call of... I apologise for that. With Call of Duty.
The Battlefield?
Because they would be like, right, we're selling to kids, what stuff can we just throw at them for the midnight release? It's like
Pins.
night vision, pins, stickers, a t-shirt.
RC car.
RC car.
How cool was that? Don't know if you
Welcome to the podcast. We're now listening to a neighbour have a conversation with another neighbour.
I'm going to close the window. Who needs air? What were we talking about? Call of Duty.
Call of Duty,
a lot
yeah.
of hype around it. There was always a lot of talk because games were a big part.
Yeah,
Big,
growing up
like
as a kid, and everyone knew the launch was happening this Thursday or Friday, and you talk about it.
That's what everyone's gonna. There'll be 8. There was 96 people online. What the fuck? There was like usually 10, but when COD came out, everyone was online.
Yes.
And your parties would be full, and it would just be, even with the randoms, or like you just being team chat, whatever.
Yeah.
But there'd be a lot of hype around it, and then all of a sudden, with the decline of physical media.
Yep. As soon as Granger Games shut down.
Yeah.
Round about then.
Yeah. As soon as games started I think it was like with the decline of physical media and the incline of everyone just releasing statues with their games. Everyone was never a model or like a decent model. It was just like, here's something so complexly shaped that isn't going to fit anywhere.
You hear that, Ubisoft, you idiots? No one wants a bigger statue that's heavier than a desk to put on a desk.
Like God of War.
Yep.
As much as I love God of War, stop releasing statues of shit. Ubisoft, all the Assassin's Creed have one, I'm sure. But it was like, those were the memorable ones of Call of Duty, was the night vision goggles and the RC car. Even the t-shirt and pins and the exclude.
At the time, it's like you get a t-shirt with what is going to be your favourite game, the game you could play for like a long time that year. You get a t-shirt with that on it. And that's cool.
That's fun. And then, physical media declined.
Yep.
Say. And they just stopped.
Yes.
I never. It was like at that point when digital copies, obviously this is the problem with digital media.
Yeah.
You never 100% own the game.
Yes.
You
have a license to play that game on your computer.
Yeah, but it's not yours.
The disc is the license for you to play that game.
Yeah.
The disc means nothing game wise.
Yeah. As soon as that started to happen, and everyone saw the orders of the point of pre-orders, which then defeated the point of midnight launches.
Yes.
Also, I became an adult,
Yeah.
and I wasn't going to spend £60 for a AAA game that hasn't been out, hasn't been reviewed, hasn't been talked about. We've all been there. We've all paid the £60 and went, this is shit.
Yes.
This is fucking trash. This is just another game that the media's hyped up to a point of AAA for £60, and I've just bought into it like another fucking sheep. And we all No Man's Sky. I never played it, but it's the one to go to.
Well, that was the thing. As soon as it came into that, game companies realised, well, the game doesn't necessarily have to be finished for the disc to be released, because the disc doesn't matter. You download it, and then there's a day one patch. So immediately, when you take that game home, if you could still get it on a disc, it doesn't matter, because the difference is, like, you would take the disc home of whatever game just came out, play it immediately, and it's the finalised game. Instead, now it's like, it's overused, but like Cyberpunk, you download it and there's a day one patch, there's a day two patch, it's all that sort of thing, and it saps that thing of like, this is the release date. Instead, this is the game that's coming out on this day, expect to hear about the game being good or bad in the next 20 days.
Yeah.
It saps the fun out of it a little bit.
For that though, you've got to give credit to the developers with the day. As shit as a day one patch is, for you to have like an hour and a half of being like, oh come on man, this is shit. This is a big representation on the game industry altogether. We're getting deep here.
We're getting deep. We're going to be talking about crunch.
This is so far away from the point I'm trying to make. But you need to talk about how game companies putting, as you say, the crunch on developers, just to be like, we've set a release date. We don't care. We need to get distributing and like a finalized product. So if just fuck it, make the day one patch.
Yep.
And it's like, that is so capitalistic of just being like, fuck it, they're gonna buy it anyway. We'll fix it later.
It's a management move.
And like, it just shows the care for people and their employees and their customers.
Yeah.
Like, it's just shit.
It's like someone said, it's gonna come out on this date. We've said it's gonna come out on this date. So all the people working for us, we don't care about your living situation. You're going to be doing a crunch, and then what's going to happen is the game's not going to be finished. So as soon as it's out, you're going to be working double time, and then probably still a little bit after that for a little while until the game's finished. Instead of being like, push it back.
Yeah.
Give the people who build the game more time.
As soon as people say it, when I was younger, if a game was delayed, oh damn, what? Fuck man, that's shit. Now, yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool man.
Yeah, genuinely, give me the money I'm about to spend.
Yep.
Give me that worth.
Yes.
Because otherwise, neither of us are winning here. Like. Anyway, that's a little commentary on the game. And, it's shit. But to go back to midnight releases, midnight launches, this is the original point. Just think about it. Would they work now? Say if Halo 343 went, and I don't know how feasible this is just the point.
Yes.
They went, we're doing discs. We're doing solely discs at stores. There's no Amazon, there's no nothing. We're doing a midnight launch, and then we'll go to public the next day. Then you can get it on Amazon. Then you can get it on this. However, it's a midnight launch. Right? Think about it. You can also get like the digital downloads, because obviously consoles don't have disk drives as much anymore because we're moving away.
And most computers don't.
Yeah. So you still get, but you have to go to the store and get the physical thing. Exclude COVID from this. Yeah. Right? This blows, COVID fucks all of this. With the current climate of media influencers just looking for the
next nugget.
There will be a lot of hype around this. If Halo was like, you can get it a day early if you come to the store. We do it like we used to because it's the game of the generation. It's 1, 2, and 3. It's just as good. Play that. We haven't played it. If you come to the store like the early 2000s, like the good old days, you'll get some merch. You'll socialise. There'll be, the voice actor might be in some locations. Like incentives. Yeah. How long would it take before something happened where it would be reported that an influencer started a riot, somebody was burning copies of the pre-order things outside, and it was going on TikTok and YouTube? And how long
the time it would take before someone would do reactionary stuff to get views? Minutes. I would say.
Isn't that
a minute?
Isn't that? I was thinking about that today because I saw a tweet. Because this all stems from a tweet I saw where it was like, "Oh, remember the good old days of midnight launches?" And I thought of, could that happen now? No, because we've ruined it. Yep. We've progressed past the point of physical media and needing to put it in the 360 and load the tray and wait for it to wear up and read the disc and it's the icons popped up and we're ready to go and it's that thing, and now it's just like fuck it,
it's on there,
it's on,
download it.
But some guy who has got a ring light and an iPhone 13 is just out the front annoying people. they're in it for a good time, a laugh with it, because they're probably with their mates or significant others. Probably might be even with people who they met online.
Yeah.
And are now friends. And there's some dickhead in a polo shirt with Gucci written across it, flexing that he's bought all of them.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that we're being cynical, but I implore you to go on YouTube right now. You're probably already there because you're listening to this, and search.
Finish this.
Please do. Search any iPhone that you want, and then destruction video, and you will see that on day one of every new iPhone, someone does a what happens when we put in a hydraulic press? What happens if we shoot it with a bow and arrow? What happens if we shoot it with a gun? What happens if it gets put underwater? And this is just people who've been like, well, we've got it on day one because we have money.
And what we're going to be searching this.
What we'll do is we'll do a video of us destroying them. And that will get either views of weird people who want to watch it, fair enough, or people who click on it being like, no, they're not going to do it.
They wouldn't.
Equally, it's pretty crappy thing to do. To be like, yeah, we're just going to take this thing that's brand new. We know other people can't get them. We'll break them. That's fine.
You don't want to take the moral high ground, but we're already up on this high horse, so I might as well. So much money.
Yeah.
So wasteful.
Yeah.
So just malicious, just to be like, this £1,500. I'm like, just
this is nothing to me.
I'm spending this on a video that's going to make me tens of thousands. Nothing. It's nothing to me. And you can be like, charities. Fucking even just like.
Yeah.
I would. Okay, if we're going this high horse,
damn it.
Like, what's wrong?
We're already going into. We're pissed off today.
Yeah, it's been a long.
It's all of the internet's fault.
There was. I was listening to the radio.
Oh yeah, always a terrifying thing to do.
Radio X, so it was Johnny Thorne. So it was a bit risque. And he was like, he was chatting about how there's no more real punks. Well, there's punks, but they're not the punks that they used to be.
Yeah, it's all subgenres now.
Yeah, it's not like punk.
Yeah.
It's not Sex Pistols, is basically what he was saying. And then he was saying, like, with that, though, there's no more, like, anarchists. An anarchist has completely changed its meaning. Yeah. It's not like, I'm squatting in this, I'm fighting against everything. It's like, I'll have a peaceful riot, and I've got an anarchist, like, painted on a bit of paper, and I'm standing at
It's changed what it means.
I'm not saying that there's not anarchists. I'm just saying that people have redefined what it with everything.
It's become activists rather than anarchists.
So he said, and it was just like a little passing thing, but it really stuck with us. He was like, if you want to be a true anarchist, do something nice and don't record it.
Yes.
If you want to
That's the point.
If you want to be so against the mainstream, give somebody a tenner who's struggling like with cold, with like sitting on the street, just even buy the dude a coffee.
Yeah.
And don't record it and don't tell anyone.
That's kind of the point.
Fucking anarchy.
Really want to make a difference, make sure you're not making a difference for the internet's sake. Just do it.
Because it's forgotten in a second, but for that person that you've given that tenner to,
it
changes their week. Even acknowledging, because there's this whole theory around homeless.
Yes.
Is that if a homeless person asks you for anything, just interacts you with it, and for some reason humans just be like, you're lesser, I'm not even going to talk to you. If you just ignore them, they're an ignored person.
Yes.
Which is why so many homeless people suffer with mental health. Yes. Because they just aren't seen, aren't interacted with, so there's the reason that you see somebody like, haha, that homeless person's being fucking crazy. It's because they've been neglected by society.
Being pushed by where they live.
Yeah.
Every day. So, even where they live, you look at any bus stop. Can you lie down in a bus stop ever? No, because they don't allow it, because it's not nice to see people sleeping in bus stops.
No.
Well, alternatively, mate. Or in underpasses, they put all the pointy stones.
Yeah. Oh, don't.
Oh,
no,
we don't want homeless there.
because then people can't walk underneath.
Well, of course, yeah. Well, do you know what you could do, mate? You could give them good fucking living conditions. Nah. We'll just put this concrete in.
This is getting. This is getting rough.
Let's eat the rich.
Anarchy. That took a turn.
That took a turn. I feel like we need some sort of.
And stop with Graham Norton.
Oh no!
If we're already, we got real close to being, impactful.
Yeah.
Trying to, speaking out. But now let's talk about Warhammer.
Is it Warhammer? Is it? Oh, I heard it's what's it called? Is it World of Warcraft, Niall?
No,
is it World of Warcraft?
No, that's a video game. Graham.
Oh, my mistake. What's it called?
It's called Warhammer 40,000.
Oh, how fun! How fun!
Oh, you pandering shit! I'm getting angry at you.
You might have remembered if you have watched all of these, which I hope you have. Pause the video now and start again.
I mean, bizarre. If you jumped,
if you've jumped in at number 8.
Yeah. What a bizarre number.
But if you remember from podcast 1, I think Niall said in passing that you didn't like Graham Norton, and I defended him for at least a second. And welcome to the character growth of David, of me, because since then there was a video going around the internet that came from his talk show, and I'm sure you've seen it because if you're like us and listening to us, you probably get seen.
He loves himself so much, so it's called the Graham Norton Show.
Of course. Well, it's a talk show. Of course, it has to be named after yourself.
Yeah.
So he had what was his name?
Henry Cavill.
He had Henry Cavill, a very, very cool dude.
Superman
and Geralt, amongst other things. And he's a pretty, I wasn't a massive fan, then the more I've heard about him, the more I quit like him.
Yeah, he was also really good in Mission Impossible.
He was good in Mission Impossible.
He reloaded his arms.
He did.
Remember that meme?
He's a
you fucking boomer if you remember that meme. That's like 1,000 years old in internet years.
He's a really nice guy, and you can tell he does his best at what he does, and he's openly talked about struggling with mental health and all of the things which is
somebody in the public eye to be I struggle like everyone else.
I got a dog, I love my dog, and I also do all of these things. And one of his pastimes is playing video games, which is a known internet thing, and painting. Painting. Is it figures, Niall?
No, see David. I follow Bob Ross art.
Oh yeah.
And I paint regular paintings. Isn't that nice?
Isn't that nice?
Isn't that a regular thing to do?
Is that a regular? Yeah, that's a regular thing.
But they're just in 2D.
But they're just in 2D because adding another dimension to that and nerds. So he likes to paint little figures, specifically Warhammer. He might do other things. We paint, and I'm really looking forward to doing a bust of some sort one day. But he got asked the question of what happens when he paints these things, and if we can we get up the clip?
I can put up the clip. Yeah, I'll put up the clip.
Can we get it now?
We'll play it now.
We'll play it now.
Fuck it.
Let's get copywritten. You can hear the chair here.
Hang on. Don't be impatient.
Just give them in. Bear with.
Okay.
Just. I know you do your. What will they be doing right now while listening to this?
This is right.
I'd be listening while playing Valheim, maybe Overwatch, possibly.
What they're doing. Not us.
Not us.
Because it's too. What's Matthew doing?
What's Matt? He's doing Poe.
Wait, is he poeing or is he doing
Pillars of Eternity?
Yeah. He's probably grinding something.
He's doing some grinding.
Yeah. Or maybe he's in the shed. Our friend Matthew's a blacksmith, by the way.
Yes.
Out in Matthew.
We doxing Matthew.
What's it called? Fucking Graham.
I'm
chatting shit.
Or whatever you're doing right now. I hope you're still listening throughout this downtime. Tell us about your day.
Neither of us are winning here.
I'm glad to hear you had a good day. And if not, sorry you had a bad day.
This is a multiple path. You've got to click on the links.
Yes.
Okay, Henry Cavill talks The Witcher and Warhammer. There's an ad for. Okay, here we go.
Well, well, you do have more hobbies than the average man, I'd say. But you paint. Is it World of Warcraft?
Warhammer.
Warhammer. I'm a fool.
It's Warhammer, Greg.
Okay, Warhammer. So what? So you paint by hand?
Yes, yeah.
Does everyone do that, or can you buy them already
no,
painted?
you have to paint them.
Can you imagine being a talk show host, having questions queued up about Warhammer, and playing because he's done the research and he knows exactly what he's saying.
Yep.
And then not using the research to
It's
get
almost
cheap
as like,
laughs.
yeah, he's doing this playing the fool,
just
because it's funny.
Funny for the mams.
Funny for the man.
My son does that.
He'll one day grow up to be like Henry Cavill.
I'm sure he will. The fucking neckbeard.
Cut that.
But it's just how much effort you put into it.
And you put a lot of effort.
There's the painting, modelling side of the hobby, and then there's the gaming side of the hobby.
Okay. And when you paint them, what do you do with them then, Henry?
Then you put them together in little armies and you fight against someone else's army. It is fun.
Oh,
I mean,
very
it sounds
fun.
ridiculous, but it is
Yeah,
fun.
no, toys, very good fun. Do you invite people over?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Can I come over and play?
You can.
It sounds amazing.
Guga and Zidane are going, yeah, don't ask us. Please don't ask us.
Fucking don't let him get away with it,
You-
Tom Holland. Eat
Piece of shit. If you're listening now,
Graham Norton.
you've lost a fan in that one clip.
Oh, I'm full of rage.
Can you goddamn imagine being a well-respected man? You've got more hobbies than the usual person. First of all, get that crap out of there. Can you imagine talking to someone and they go, "Oh, you've got many hobbies, don't you?" Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I like to do things with my time that make me happy. Sorry that you don't, you piece of crap.
Well, no, because he'll have, I'm going to use heavy quotations here, normal hobbies.
Oh, yes.
Where drinking wine.
Watching television.
Watching telly, but he's far too busy to watch
Yes.
television. So he'll go out, he'll socialise. Things that Henry Cavill has just said he also did.
Yeah. Because
But
everyone has many facets and, like, anyone can have any hobby.
And also, do you think that Henry Cavill can go out drinking? The man mountain that he is. Do you reckon 2.5 bottles of white wine a night?
Would touch that man.
Not even that. Is growing as Geralt, and you're just like, yeah, but he's also got a beer belly. No,
No,
that
not
doesn't.
allowed.
No.
So that clip.
Sorry,
How
this
much-
is going to be all over the place. It's
So mad.
pandering fuckhead.
It's pandering. That is the word. Because every pause and every question is set out in a way of like, I'm going to ask him this so facelessly that he's going to have to answer it, and we both know he's just going to have to give an honest answer, and it's going to get a laugh. Why is it going to get a laugh? Because it's a bit nerdy.
The worst part about that is Henry Cavill has to self-sabotage himself.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah.
Because he knows that it's not, in quotes, cool.
Yeah.
Whatever that fucking means anymore. Because it's not...
No such thing as cool.
Yeah, because
no such thing as
the
cool.
early 2000s was this whole thing of everything has to be cool, and that is still the stereotype in everyone's head of the fucking jock and the nerd.
Yeah.
But just because that he has a hobby that involves painting and fucking war games, and you have gossip, and just acting like the cast of Mean Girls. Just that it's the twisted up cunty face.
It is.
Sorry for using the cunt word.
We apologise. We don't.
He's being a cunt.
He is. He really is. It's not okay. The fact that, even at the end when it's and people come round and play, and that's seen as a laugh, it's, the joke there, if you unpack what just got said, of and you can invite people around and they'll play as well, means that his friends like to play with it, and it's a social thing, so a lot of people enjoy doing this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We sound extremely triggered by the way.
Because we are. So that joke, the laugh implies that the people who are laughing are like, you're telling me that other people, hang on a minute, other people like to play this game. In social things, Jesus, no, it can't.
And
This
they
is not real.
And they must all be sweaty neckbeards,
Yeah.
like Henry Cavill.
Of course.
I'm sure that Henry Cavill's a famous dude. I imagine his inner circle is probably
Anyone.
pretty chill people.
Yeah.
People who aren't going to be weird bugging autismos.
Fuck's sake.
Oh man, David, when we're past that point, they don't care. Well, I'm sure I'll believe it.
I'll say this right now. Everyone's autistic. That's why it's a spectrum. If you don't believe that, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
That's
Me and David can't look at each other in the eyes while we do this podcast.
we joke.
Let's just stay in eye contact, David. That's it. But what I was saying about him self-sabotaging himself
Yeah.
is at the end when he's like, and then you put them in armies and play, and then
Yeah.
he has to force out the laugh. You know, that's Henry, stop, man.
Yeah.
That's,
The only reason he's had to laugh is because if he didn't laugh, it
Uh-huh.
would cause an issue in the. It would make it awkward.
yeah.
He has had to take the piss out of himself because if he didn't, it would be awkward because of someone else taking the piss.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck, man?
I hadn't actually seen the part with Tom Holland.
Yeah.
So I'd only actually seen the Henry Cavill
The
clip.
bit that gets put on the internet.
So the fact that Tom Holland could feel.
Yeah. Feel like.
Wait a minute.
Hang
wait,
on.
Wait, he had a spidey sense. Yes. Yes.
He's Peter sense.
He
Joke of the
he
week.
could feel the PR nightmare.
Yeah.
That could happen if Henry Cavill was like, cool man.
Cool, man. Let's just move on, shall we?
Yeah, that's. He was like, that sounds great. I like to play.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, cool man.
You're talking to someone who's in The Witcher, which, if you didn't know, Graham, is a book and then a long-standing video game series.
Yeah.
He's in Mission Impossible, which is about... Okay. The bit that really annoyed us in that clip is the use of one word.
Ooh.
And that word is toys.
Ooh.
You know, toys.
Toys. See, I have another word. Just to add to this, there's a word that always springs out to me, and it's the use of the word little.
Right.
Your little
toys,
little toys.
Oh, he's
You know-
playing with a little tank engine.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Oh, wow. Don't worry, one day grow out of that when he's big and famous. No.
No.
It's a hobby.
Can you imagine the Graham, you pandering fuckhead, that Henry, with his troubles with
Yeah.
mental health, and the fact that the man lives in a gym, during his downtime, as a lot of people, use it for like a meditation.
Yeah.
Just like, nothing else matters. I'm not even looking at the external world. This little 25mm based model is all that's in my mind. If I fuck up a brushstroke, that's the only stress in the world.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, during a media event,
A light has shone on that.
during a media event where everybody's going to see it because it's going to be clipped and put on Facebook,
Yep.
which is sadly now it's bittersweet. It's been spread about so much where mums are like, haha, isn't that funny? But it's also getting spread to the point within the nerdy.
The people who actually do it as a
Yeah,
hobby, who
that's-
enjoy it,
yeah.
or do it as their job.
Have just all been like, yeah, fuck Graham Norton.
Yeah, that's not cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, we had this conversation downstairs. We tried not to touch upon all the points because we wanted to save the rage for you guys. But, like, could you imagine if he had said anything else, like, about a hobby? Like, if he had said, oh, in your free time, I hear that you like to paint. Let's take it so close to the bone. So you like to paint in your free time? Yeah, I quite like painting. Just like pictures of people in a scenery bit.
About this, David. I'll be Graham Norton.
Yeah.
You'll be Henry Cavill doing any other hobby that isn't Warhammer.
Yeah.
Turns out I need to get my scrunched up little punchable face ready.
I need to think of finger quotations. A normal hobby. Give me a sec.
Yeah?
What's a normal hobby?
I don't know, because surfing.
Surfing. Okay.
Something that David does.
Something that I enjoy in my free time.
So David.
Yes, Graham.
Sorry. So Henry.
Yes, Graham.
I hear you've got a hobby along with your many.
Well, I do have a life, Graham. Yes.
You sail?
No. It's actually surfing. It's easy. Yeah, they're the same thing. They're the same thing, right?
So it's like, it's not a boat, it hasn't got the sides, and you just put it in the water and paddle out?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's got no sail, yeah. It's just a surfboard, yeah.
And then you do this with other people, Henry?
Yeah, it's quite a good thing to like do communally as a social thing. Goes out with quite a few friends. It's good fun.
So you and your friends go out in the middle of the sea,
Yeah,
and just be in the sea for a little bit.
yeah, it's quite good fun. It's really therapeutic, and I just get a feel like you're being a little bit derogatory there, Graham.
No. I just. It sounds nice. You and your friends just catching a wave, dude. You see how pandering that is?
See how
Graham?
pandering that is?
Just to be like, you're the thing that you appreciate and love. Fuck that. You get away with it when you're a parent and you're like, I don't understand, what's me boy like? When you're just some random dude, it's not on.
Can you imagine, like, if you flip the thing? So Graham, you like to talk to people?
Yes.
You bring them into. Is it? I want to say. Is it a house you bring them into?
No, I bring them to a studio.
Oh, it's a studio.
The cunty voice was stuck in my throat.
A studio. Sorry, yeah, my mistake. I'm here, aren't I? Yeah, of course. And I've done my research. So you bring them to the studio, and what do you do?
Well, I get a bunch of famous people.
Oh.
And I get them in the studio.
Like famous people, celebrities.
So, yeah, I get them, and they're my like celebrity friends, and I get them over.
Oh right, okay, all right. Okay.
We chat and we put it on the telly for millions to see.
On the telly.
Yeah, we just make it with a bunch of friends. And
people enjoy it.
Yeah, a lot of people watch it.
Oh, well, at least you enjoy it, Graham. At least you do. You keep doing that if it makes you happy, Graham, eh? Hey?
Pays the fucking wages. Pays for those cars, doesn't it, Graham?
Pays for that moustache back in the day.
Went back when you still had hair. Well, no, you still had hair. It's just very grey now.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that was Graham
big
Norton.
tirade.
But at the same time, if at any point you saw it and were like, haha, funny.
Yeah.
Now you understand why, to people who actually do it for fun, as a hobby or as a job, we can shout out many people on the internet if we want to. It's a bit of a slap in the face.
Just a bit.
Bit of a slap in the face.
Also, if you don't get the hobby, don't have any interest in the hobby and think it is still nerdy, no matter what hobby it is, even if it's like, I think if you're in your 20s and still doing like scouts, it's a little nerdy.
Yeah.
But
doesn't matter.
Doesn't
because
matter.
I don't care.
Cool, man. You go into the middle of the woods and you tie some fucking knots. But like, it's not nerdy. It's just
It's
an
not.
example. But like, even if you think it is the nerdiest thing in the world, somebody appreciates it.
Yeah, going out of your way.
So maybe don't be so constantly self-entitled and think of somebody else's perspective on anything that isn't your own. Just fucking have a thought.
Because otherwise, two angry 20-something-year-olds
Might say something
might
nasty
say
about you.
something
in the air.
nasty about you.
Oh, the internet's gonna be mad.
What does that mean? It means views, you piece of crap. That's what it means.
Oh, right. Okay, so since this podcast, since the last podcast came out, I'll start this again. I don't know how you feel about it, but so even if it doesn't get views
Third time? Yeah.
for like a year,
This is all
I'm
staying
still
in,
just
no?
cool.
Yep.
Because it's
there.
It's
It's
as
there.
of
It's done.
that-
It's
as
not
of
something
this
where you start a
recording,
hobby
the
and you're
first
like,
episode.
it's
Wait,
fine.
how many you and your friends get
together in a room and people hang on, people listen to it.
No, nobody listens.
No,
to this.
no, we do.
So we were on Discord the other night. We were chatting about the podcast and what we're hoping from it, and the kind of the schedule around it. Because at the minute, since the initial release of the first one, we're going to try and do every 2 weeks.
Bi-weekly.
Yeah, until the point where I've probably finished uni and I've got more time to edit and less things to deal with. However, the topic of conversation came up of have you shared this with anybody yet?
Yeah.
And I haven't yet.
Nope.
I've told my mum I'm doing it, but just because it was kind of like a passing thing, because I know she'll never look for it or find it. But she just like, she asks.
Yes.
Because I told her, we've got the mic and we're going to do a podcast. And I was like, this is where this comes from. So I told my mum, just, she was, as mums are, like, that's nice.
That's nice.
That's fun. She doesn't know what it means.
No.
She has no idea what this is. This isn't, she watches Graham Norton.
She thought the Henry Cavill bit was hilarious.
Hilarious. Yeah, but I was very tempted to tell people at work today, because it was a slow day.
Something to talk about.
Yeah. And then one of the guys I work with was like, you up to much tonight, Niall? Oh, I could. I'm not going to though. It was there for. It was like, oh no, don't do it. I passed the question to you. Have you told anybody about this?
Yes, I have. No friends. No, just people on the street, Niall.
Nobody I care about.
Anyone with an internet connection. No family because it's not for them. And they wouldn't get my humour, which sounds bad, but it's true. I don't care.
Yeah. If you, I would. It's got to be like 1 in 100 people have the same sense. Like,
yeah.
You don't put on a face around your family.
You think?
You reckon? You reckon it's more? You reckon it's or less?
To say that we have the same. Say we don't. What's the question?
The charade.
Oh, there's definitely a charade.
Because there's me with the boys.
Yes.
With the homies. There's me with Bethan.
Yes.
Which is, to be fair, isn't that like...
She's one of the boys.
She's one of the boys. Producer Bethan.
Side note, boys is any.
Boys
we don't care.
Boys is just group.
It's a catch-all term.
Hey boys. But
then there's Family Niall.
Yeah, but then there's Family Niall.
Yeah.
Which is a lot less sweary.
Yes.
I allow myself shit and bitch.
Okay.
And sometimes piss. But never bastard, fuck or cunt. And
we're gonna get taken off the
internet. And never.
God's sake.
But yeah, there's definitely the mask. There's I'm real cheeky. I'm real like, shut up.
Shut up, you.
Yeah, no, not even that. Just like, my mum will say something like, "You're a fucking idiot." And she'll say something which I would never like, even with Bethan. But I am so just like, my mum would be like, "Well, this," and I'm like, "No, don't ever think that. That is so wrong."
Let's stop that right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm the same.
If Bethan had like a right wing thought, I'd be like, "Whoa, that's a bit of we'll talk about this. We'll work through the we'll
weird." Talk about this in the Hyundai.
But with me, mum, if she dropped, like, I at the minute have a blue thumbnail.
Yes.
Huh. It doesn't mean anything. I said thumbnail and thought of the fucking. Oh my god!
It took me a second to work out why you said hat, and then I was like, I get it. They won't.
Oh, so yeah, I have a blue thumbnail that I just coloured in. That I just coloured in with Sharpie today because it was that boring.
Yeah.
And I saw my mum today, and she was like, "What's that? What's that on your thumb?" I was like, "Oh, I haven't bruised or anything. It's just a blue Sharpie because I coloured it in." She's like, "Oh, I thought you were going all gay." She doesn't mean bad.
She doesn't mean bad. She was brought up in a different time.
It's not an excuse.
No, it's not.
It's never an excuse.
Because guess what? They've been alive in the same time we have.
Yeah. Guess who was alive during her time as well? Martin Luther King. So to say you were brought up in a different time, I'm sure those activists have.
Mm-hmm.
This woman from a pit mining coal village and the Black Panthers were around the same time.
Yeah. I have that conversation quite regularly where a thought has come into a head of a parent, one parent, and I think it's in a way to be like a little bit snooty to know something. So what was the last one that we talked about? Some family that we know is very well off. That's a preface because it makes sense later. Very, very well off, lives down south, and their entire house is off grid of like electronics and water. So they collect their own water through rainfall. They have solar power. I think they might have wind power as well. And because of that, like, it pays into the national grid, so they get money back from the national grid for it to happen. And the water is dependent on rain. But if there's not enough rain, then they've got an ability to go back on the water table.
That's right.
And she was talking about how amazing it was and how everyone should do it and how we should do it and put it in our garden. And then we won't be using water from Northumbrian Water and get some...
Moolah.
Yeah. And I immediately got irritated because I know that the person that she's talking about is incredibly well off to a point where them buying solar panels, them paying them for them to be put on the roof, them paying for an external water tank to be buried underground and then have a water pump to pump it back into the house, and changing their guttering so that it can collect water properly and clean it, and all of the other things that go along with it, like they have an electric car that...
Also very, very conscious.
But an electric car that doesn't have more than 100 miles of range, so...
What is it? Is it the
I don't
old
know.
BM... the BM smart car?
Yeah.
What's that called?
Oh, what are they called?
The really ugly one.
something, maybe?
Yeah. i20? No,
Because
that's a Hyundai.
there was the one, and that was the more sporty one.
See, this
But
is why we need producer Bethan.
It was that feeling of like, I know a topic has been brought up to brag about other people that are doing things that are eco-friendly and think about how we would be better off if we did the same. But they can do that because they're incredibly well off and they didn't build any of it. They just paid someone to put it in their garden.
Yeah.
And if you're so conscious of like, oh well, we must save water, we must save electricity, like to a point of like you're willing to spend that amount of money, turn off your electrics and shit in the woods. Like, I think I said that. I was like, if you're really that bothered, guess what? You can just not use it, and it's fine. If you want your toilets to run on only rainwater, get rid of the toilet. Just a thought. If you are so high and mighty about us wasting water, which I can tell you now works not quite the... You're using the same water, you know, because of how water tables work, but never mind. If you're really that self-righteous about, oh, we need to be doing so much better, shit in the woods. Dig a latrine and don't talk to me about buying shit, putting in the garden that neighbours are going to be complaining about, and we're going to have to spend money on maintenance, and it's going to be plastic or metal, and all of the problems with that are the fact that solar panels take a lot of materials that aren't fantastic for the environment, and they have a shelf life.
And the diggers with the diesel.
That sort of conversation happens.
Like, I get it if you're actively trying to make a change and
Yes.
you have the money to be like, I still want to live
Yeah.
nicely but without damaging...
Yeah. But
yeah.
it's never a conversation of, shall we do this? It's a conversation of, well, we'll have to do it. And it'll never happen. Nothing's ever going to happen, so this conversation is pointless. Because you're going to ask me some like engineering expertise on how it could possibly be done for it to never be done. So I don't care. Stop asking me. So no.
You're good.
I haven't told my family about the podcast, Niall.
And I don't think you will.
I don't think I will. But I have told. Went in there. I get very irritated by conversations that I have with certain people. As well you know.
Oh yeah. David, calm down the fire.
God, look at that
Just
fire.
Look at
Look at that fire.
How long's that fire been going for?
Well,
I
it's
haven't
on a
changed any
10-hour loop,
logs.
so... As long as is it on a...
Oh, this fire's been going well for a good hour.
God damn. in the original question, because I feel like we're going on a tangent of too much rage, I have told a few friends...
Should we lighten the mood a
Yeah.
little bit, an hour into the podcast?
I've told a few friends, a few friends about it, and it's not quite their humour, but they're definitely into like podcasts and just listening to people chat.
Okay.
Like, they have a good sense of humour, but that doesn't mean it's the same.
This is the issue though. We thought we'd be good at doing podcasts because we make each other laugh. The four of us in a Discord call.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, you know, we're funny.
If we make another person laugh, that's 25% increase. Yeah.
We're in.
Yeah, so I've told them, and if they listen to it, that's cool. If they enjoy it, great. That's about it. I think there's not really that... I'm not a big name on Facebook, Instagram or TikTok, mainly because I don't have TikTok. Yeah. But so me being like, everyone look at my thing that I've done.
Ding, ding.
Look at the dings. It will just be shouting into the ether.
Yeah.
And
I'm the same. I've got like 50 followers on most things. And like, these are the people I know, but I never post. I never say anything. Nope. The most interaction I probably do is either on Twitch or Twitter. Yeah. And that's usually just replying to people, just being like, the fucking meme.
Yeah, the thing is, if the people who I know, who I think would enjoy it, I'll tell in person rather than putting on Facebook to be like, oh, David's made a thing.
So I guess if you found us...
Yeah, congrats.
Spread us through that.
Yeah,
like
word of mouth.
Like COVID.
Yeah, word of mouth.
Nobody means to get it, but now that you've got it, which is good evening, boys, spread it. Go on, cough on people.
Are you comparing good evening, boys to coronavirus? Are you telling people
Omicron.
Are you telling people that by listening to us means they're gonna lose their sense of taste? We're sorry if by listening to this you've lost your sense of taste. It happened to us a long time ago.
If you listen to this, you've never had it. Fucking hell.
What's some good points that we can move on to?
I have no idea. Like my main point for this podcast was just rage-filled bullshit. I mean, I've got this whole topic about people in cars.
Yes.
But that's
more
rage.
Yeah, we can't have just a rage.
Do you want to do like a quick? Do you want to do?
It's time for.
It's time for what do we call it?
The ad break.
Not the ad break, but the minute vent.
Oh, the minute vent. Oh crap!
The minute vent.
The rage corner.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
What was the rules? Just the minute.
Hard and fast. I don't know.
Safe word?
No, I mean there are no rules. It's a Thunderdome.
Minute. No interruptions. Just get a vent.
Okay.
Okay, let me prepare.
Which is real easy if you're listening and you're like, I don't care. You just skip forward a minute.
I mean,
we're doing this for you.
Yeah.
No, don't tell them we're doing it for 2 minutes. They'll never know. They'll never see it coming.
Are we ready?
There'll be some people with stopwatches being like, minute and 3 seconds, is it?
Doubtful. Okay, we're ready.
We're ready.
Right, I'll give it 2 seconds before we start. This is about people.
Stop it there.
And because we've talked about cars in the past.
Yeah.
This is just about people in their cars.
Yes.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. If you think your car is part of your personality, jump off a fucking bridge. 6 seconds, that's all I needed.
That's it. Talk amongst yourselves. You've got 50 seconds.
That was it. That's all I
if you think your car is your personality.
It's part of your personality.
Interesting. Elaborate.
Are we going in on it? Fuck the
Elaborate.
We're going in on it. Yeah. Did you see the whole interaction between Seth Rogen and Casey Neistat?
No.
Oh boy. Fill time.
Alright, okay. As someone who is a big fan of the motor vehicles, to a point where it is my dream to restore and modify as many as I can once I can actually afford to do so. I'm very intrigued by the idea of this because I do follow many an Instagram car. So I'm interested. I'm invested by what's going to come up next. I hope you are too, listener.
Well done.
Matthew.
It was mainly the point is that if you think of it almost like China, like a social score. If you think that having a nice car adds to your character, you've got more flaws than that car can fill. Like,
yes.
If
you're saying, well, I don't have this, that, and that, but I do have this Mercedes.
Yes, and do you wanna? And it's not like I'll give you a lift. It'd be like, we'll jump in the Merc.
Oh no! Stop.
Well,
anyone who refers to a BMW as a Beamer.
I was just about to say Beamer.
Anyone.
We'll jump in the Beamer.
Oh, can you move your Beamer? Shut up. Shut your mouth.
Just say BM. The rest of us. So there was an interaction, and it also goes just towards the hatred of Seth Rogen. He's another one. This is a very angry
Seth
podcast.
Rogen, James Corden. So we just go through them all.
So, when was this? This was, say, 10 days ago, on the 25th of November.
25th of November, very good.
Casey Neistat,
Yes.
popular YouTuber.
Who I do not watch.
No, but he voted for Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
Yeah, he was that guy. So our cars got robbed this morning because Los Angeles is a crime-riddled third world shithole of a city, but tremendous appreciation and gratitude to the hard-working officers of LAPD.
I think I might have heard of this, but keep going.
Yeah, who not only arrested the motherfucker, but they got all the stolen goods back. Seth Rogen decided to step in because,
it's what he needs to be doing,
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah.
Dude, I've lived here for over 20 years. You're nuts. It's lovely here. Don't leave anything valuable in it. It's called living in a big city. Oh, I imagine it is, Seth, in your gated house. And then Casey was kind of just okay with it and said, I can still be mad though, right? I feel violated. Yeah.
Your items have been stolen.
Yeah. And then Seth, little pearls.
Just wisdom.
Yeah, you can be mad, but I guess I don't personally view my car as an extension of myself. I've never really felt violated any of the 15 or so times my car was broken into. Remember, Los Angeles isn't that bad.
Beautiful place.
You just said that a tweet before.
Safe for cars, I
Yeah,
heard.
it's lovely here. I've never really felt violated any of the 15 or so times my car's broken into. Once a guy accidentally left a cool knife in my car, so if it keeps happening, you might get a little treat. Can you imagine being so disconnected to the rest of the world
Imagine
that you
being
don't see an issue with your car I don't see my car as an extension of myself. No, neither does the rest of us, Seth. However, these things cost fucking money, Seth. What, Seth? You remember the guy who was just the dirty guy with the perm and the goatee? Who's weed? Like, weed guy?
Weed
and
man.
You're like, I make pottery for hundreds of dollars now.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck off, Seth Rogen. You haven't been funny in over a decade.
You've tried and failed.
Oh, is he going the way of Adam Sandler? But this is the thing though, because I still have an appreciation for Adam Sandler no matter how shit his movies are.
Yes,
because
he's
Happy
meta.
Gilmore.
Yeah, and Happy Gilmore. He's also quite meta about it, which I can appreciate. But yeah, I know what you mean.
What was it? The Jewels thing?
Oh,
on Netflix?
Gems.
Yeah.
Precious Gems.
Producer Bethan.
Bethan?
Bethan?
Hello, Beth.
Oh, she's just being
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because Bethan was being really racist there.
She is one to do.
Yeah.
That's why we had to cut out all of her audio from this podcast.
sitting there with our armband on.
Because you never learnt to swim.
Just the one.
It goes in circles in the pool. Good thing. Stop now.
No.
Extension cars being an extension of a personality. One, that guy tweeting is not saying that it's an extension of his personality. Seth is just projecting for no bloody reason.
Yeah.
I kind of know what you mean, because we've previously talked about people that we know who make it a point to let everyone know without asking that they've got a Civic Type R.
You fucker. I was making a point of not saying that.
People make a point to make sure that everyone knows that they have an M3.
Oh, yes.
Or a... what's another one that's just everywhere?
Was it the 110D?
Ugh.
The Beamer? In baby blue?
The Beamer. What's a more... What would...
What's a flexi car you're trying to say?
No, I'm thinking of like, what would anyone have? Because often the ones that have like a really, really nice car, you don't need to hear about it. So you wouldn't be like, yo, extension of personality. If I owned a 240Z, you wouldn't need to know about it because
you can see
at
it.
what point would I bring it up? Be like, by the way, now
Yeah.
I'm actually a 240Z owner now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has your penis grown?
No, it's gotten smaller.
Oh well,
Um,
inevitable. But like,
But it
it
wouldn't
can
come with
be
that.
an
It's usually
extension,
something
and you
else.
could have a care.
Yes.
Look, as we've said before, we're both car guys. We can
Yes.
appreciate a car. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'd love to restore. I'd love to be in there, and I would fully get an attachment.
Yes.
But I've never. The comparison between, for me at least, because there's a different kind of love. The comparison between I've bought a really fast car that looks really cool, and it basically looks like a Hot Wheels car, compared to I've bought this piece of shit like Skoda,
Yeah.
and I've lowered it, I've put underlighting in it, put a subwoofer in the back, I've spent more than this car's worth, and I fucking love this car.
Yes.
Because it's what I've worked on. It's been my passion project. Whenever anything goes wrong, I fix it.
Yeah.
It is from a period where cruise control wasn't standard, and I've put cruise control in it.
Yes.
I've put Bluetooth in it. I love this car compared to that. Just this car comes with it, and it came out last year.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with buying a new car and
Nothing
loving
wrong
your
with
new car, but you can't flex a spec.
Yes. By flexing the spec, you're flexing how much money you've spent buying the car or leasing it.
Yeah, anybody can get it on finance.
Yeah. It's the equivalent. It's not the equivalent, but for people who don't get it, it's quite difficult to grasp. But if you imagine you bought a painting that was really nice, and you went, look at my fancy painting, isn't it great? Aren't I great for having this painting? Compared to you've learned how to paint, and because of that, you've gone through all the stages of painting, and then been like, have you seen the new thing that I've done? Isn't that really... have you seen the old stuff that I did? It wasn't a shit. Look at this. It's a big difference of built not bought, which is thrown around a lot.
Bring it back to Warhammer.
Yeah.
If you see a model in the shop, you're like, sick. That looks exactly like the box art. That is really good detail. That is spot on. If your friend goes, look at this model I've painted.
Yes.
You're gonna, no matter how shit it is.
Yes.
You're gonna be like, yes, man.
Yes.
You put effort into
You've
this.
put 5 hours, bought paints, bought brushes.
Yeah. No matter if I don't like the colour scheme, no matter if I don't, it's got fuck all to do with me. Yes, you've put effort into that. If somebody, here's the most white, like this has to like sink in for the common folk. What is more effort? Going to Sainsbury's and buying a loaf of bread or making a loaf of bread?
Yes.
Anybody can get the loaf of bread, but it takes time and effort to make a loaf of bread.
Yes.
That bread but cars.
Yes. But it's then someone being like, I will make this bread that I've bought my personality.
Yes.
Yes.
Somebody carrying it around.
Have you seen my new Hovis? Left it out back, won't have a look.
Maybe just pop the bonnet on this bad
Oh, is this,
seen all this
is this,
gluten in here?
have you seen all this seeds? I went for...
This thing, chocked full of gluten.
Plus, I think, like, we know people, like, my dad's into his cars, and he has a thing of, like, whenever he gets a car, it's then a starting block of, like, right, let's find all the things that are wrong with it and put some cool bits on it. And that comes with a thing of, like, you naturally don't really have a shouty voice about it because you understand that cars are pieces of crap, and whenever you put a part on it, the other parts will break and it won't fit, and you'll get really pissed off. So there's no way in hell you're going to brag about your car, because deep down you love it, but you freaking hate the thing.
Because that's the thing, that it gives you the most joy and the most frustration.
Yeah.
Because you're right, if you're putting a new part on an old part, the probably the seal in between is not going to like each other.
All the gaskets.
Also, surprisingly, you know how your car is really clean and shiny and lovely on the sides and the roof and the bonnet and everything? Can you imagine that, but on the bottom? That never happens. All the shit or everything. And guess what? That's where all the bit that makes your car move is.
Yeah.
So when you're
spending any amount of time underneath the car is just horrible.
Yeah, it's like,
especially mine that leaks freaking oil. Have you ever got an oil in your eye?
You've got under seal on any part of your hair. Ow! But it's like you get it's oil, it's muck, it's rust, it's swearing, it's literally blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
Compared to, I'm now paying £600 a month for a car.
Yeah, it's a different way of life, and I think the thing that we dislike is the fact that we kind of look forward to doing it ourselves. So for someone to say they have the same outcome and brag about it when they haven't put in the work is a little bit naff. Yeah. Like, whenever I see people and they've gotten their car valeted and they talk about, oh, they've done all this nice stuff, and I then say back, well, I just clean my car.
Yeah.
And I do a really good job because I like cleaning my car.
I just don't shit on the back all the time.
Well, I do, but then I clean it. That's the
that,
thing.
yeah.
But it is that thing of, like, I know so many people who are really just sort of, like, anal about their cars, but have no idea how, one, they work, two, have any sort of idea of what maintenance is, and three, have no real idea of the difference between paying for crap to get done and doing it themselves. Like, we did a job a while ago. Yeah, we did. Where was it? I can't remember what it was, but the guy had a Golf R, one of the newer ones, so it's no longer called an R32.
When did that change?
Yeah, it's just an R now, because you've got the R line as well.
That's not on.
Golf R. But he was.
Wait, when did the R30? Quick interrupt. It must have been the Mark IV or the Mark V.
Yeah, because you still get you had the badges with the R32 in the back, but now it's just black and silver R.
Is it? Or was it the black and silver one?
I think so.
Anyway.
If I'm wrong, please let us know. But it's what I've seen and what I've been told. And I was talking to him about it, and he's like, because they're decent cars. And he's like, oh yeah, that's pushing 600 horsepower. And I was like, pushing 600 horsepower? He's like, yeah, I've got a new exhaust and everything. I was like, it's pushing 600 horsepower? He's like, yeah. I was like, so what engine is it? He's like, oh, I don't know. You don't know? you don't, but you know the horsepower?
Yeah.
Do you know the torque specs? No? Cool, man. Alright. So you don't know... Have you upgraded... For 600 horsepower, you must have done something to the internals, because that's just... Oh, there's a fly in the room. That's just a 6-cylinder engine in a front-wheel drive car. You must have done something at the bottom end.
At least remapped it.
Yeah, and had maybe put a bigger turbo on it. He was like, it's got a turbo. You what?
You know when you're driving and the car goes... That's that. Oh, is it?
So if he doesn't know it's got a turbo, he doesn't know what a turbo is, he doesn't know how many cylinders it's got. And I was sat there like...
I bet if you
what
said...
the hell?
If you said straight line or V, you...
Not a clue. But yeah, it's stuff like that where people... Because I hadn't seen it, and then I think I was... Because my boss has... He's got a Beamer.
He's got a Beamer.
He's got quite a fast BMW, and it's got a decent engine in it. I think at last check he was pushing like 500 horsepower, and he's done some bits to it.
Very nice.
So he's like, "Oh, Dave's done his car." And he's like, "Oh yeah, my car's got 600 horsepower. You can really feel it when you pull away." And I was like, "Oh yeah," and chatting away about this, but it's that thing of like someone bragging about 600 horsepower in a car with not the first concept of what the car is, to the point where like you could have probably been sold any car, and the guy could have said it's got 700, got 1,000 horsepower, that mate, and he'd be like, "Oh, sick."
He's the kind of guy who fell for like, this Ford has a gold chip in it. Gold,
These cars have injection. No way. Like every car from the 90s. Here's something that I probably should have done the slightest bit of research on, but do you know TDIs? Like VWs, Audis, how it's like TDIs. A TDI on the back and it's a diesel engine. Is the I injection?
Yeah. Turbo diesel injection?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
What is the point in saying the word injection? If it was turbo diesel, it's got a turbo and it's got a diesel. Uh-huh. What diesel engines use a carburetor? What diesel engine doesn't use injection and hasn't for however many years?
I mean,
to be able to say it's got injection, and people be like,
I guess TD,
nice.
TDI just it's.
It must just be because it sounds better. Because GTI.
Here's another thing we'll do. How many people, and I'm one of them because I'm really bad at it. But for common people, would know the letters on the back of their car, or do you think they just mean that? Well, that one's fast.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean, because I'm saying that, and I know for a fact if you in Hyundai, I couldn't give you the letters. In Peugeot, I couldn't.
No.
So it's just a select few that I know about, but it does annoy us that the I is pointless. Why?
Like, I've never. There's a few where I'm like, CDI.
Yeah. Ah, yes. It's got a convertible diesel engine.
CDI's capacitor.
That makes sense.
Yeah?
Don't know.
Capacitor diesel injection?
Cut this out. Make us sound clever.
Right. We're just going to chat for a second.
Yeah. Talk amongst yourselves.
It's, I'm sure, from my days, it is a capacitor that holds the charge. So instead of a regular spark, the timing's a lot more efficient because it holds it's more.
Oh, it's not just a.
Yeah, it's not like just like a crack. It holds the charge for longer periods, so it can be like.
To get full complete combustion.
I think so. I think at this point, mate, you're a lot more.
Nope.
I've been out of it for a little while.
Anyway, welcome back.
We'll have a little chat.
Yeah, letters on the back of cars don't make a lot of sense, which is kind of sad. Like Audi with their FS and the 40s, 35s, 30s, 25s, where at one point that was engine size or a PSI rating. Can't remember which. Right. And now they mean nothing.
Oh.
Like is it FS 40i or 40 FSI? I don't really like Audi, so I don't know too much about it. But it doesn't mean engine size.
All right.
Yeah. So when it says 40, it's not a 4-litre engine, or the PSI rating.
It's just what it is.
It's just that's the biggest one. That's really annoying.
Because at the minute, all Audis I feel like I see are either Audi A1s.
Yes.
Or is it the S1? Which is the big sporty one now?
Yeah.
Which is all carbon fibre and all the nice like red decals.
Yeah.
I do like the S1s, but it is a guilty pleasure.
It's because it's a small car and it's fast.
Yeah,
it's a go-kart.
Yeah, I am a boy racer at heart.
To be fair, the only reason you're guilty about it is because there's so many of them.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like I love Audis, but they're always up my arse when I'm driving.
Mm-hmm. Stereotypes exist for a reason.
Yeah.
And people are usually dickheads when they drive.
Yeah. It's upsetting because like when we do jobs around like Burnett Field, there's a few Audi RS3s. And I think it's the RS3s that are like the S3s, but they've got 4-wheel drive.
Right.
That could be absolute crap, but there was the S3 and now it's more of an RS3.
Rally Sport.
Yeah, Rally
Sport.
Sport.
Would be 4, yeah.
And I don't know if they changed it, but from the last generation, it was a supercharged V6, and they sound so good. But you just know, if you were on a main road,
but you
be
also
flashing.
but you also know that kind of they sound so good and they look so good, but you know that the guy in that car stinks of aftershave.
Yeah.
It's fucking putrid in there for any other passenger. Like, is there any air left? Because it's burning my eyes, my mouth, and my nose.
No, only Savage.
Only millions.
Have you heard of Paco Rabanne? It's now inside you.
Have you heard of all of it? Yeah, but it's like, did I tell you about the guy I was following in his old, I think it was the old Subaru, red lowered,
Of course.
but like this was going back to the previous thing. Of this guy's obviously had this car for forever.
Yeah.
And he was just on a drive. He was just having a cruise, and it was this old red lowered Subaru, real wide at the back.
I'm gonna get anal here. What eyes did it have? We're talking bug eye. We're talking blob eye. Hawk eye.
It was the
Circular.
no where the droop at the end. It's almost like the teardrop where it's like flat on the bottom and then the top comes down.
Hawk eye.
Yeah,
I think that's Hawks.
Yeah,
If I'm imagining the
but
right
bubbling
thing.
out, and then they've got the yellow little like very prominent indicators at the front.
I think that's Hawk eye.
Yeah, one of those.
Could be wrong. Sorry.
Car talk. One of those.
Yeah.
It's not important. This is probably going to get cut out anyway. But it was I was behind him and he was going one way, I was going the other, and I was just kind of appreciating.
Yeah.
Because you could tell he was just on a drive. He wasn't a dick. He wasn't going up anybody's arse. He wasn't revving the fuck out of it. He was just going somewhere.
Yeah.
And we went down next to where I live, next to the river. There is an
Doxing.
there is an underpass,
Oh.
and it was just me in the car.
Just roll it down.
I just
Roll
put the
down the window.
I put the window down because I thought he must.
He
He's
must.
got to.
It's got a boxer engine. Of course it's
And
gonna.
he blasted the fuck out of that car. And do you know what I said to myself? He's put on a little show for me.
Ooh, nailed it.
I was like, ooh,
Ooh.
ooh.
You give him a little rev back.
What, it'd be a little ST? Just
You've got the same number of cylinders.
I mean, yeah. No, it kind of just felt, because again, I've bought this. I've done nothing to this car, which is another weird flex when people go, oh, I see that you've still got the ST. I'm like, yes, it's still my workhorse. I
Still
get
mine.
I get to and from work. I go to university. I take the dog out. There's usually more sand in there than anything else.
We've taken it camping.
Yeah.
Survived.
It's been off. Well, actually, it did have a cracked coil.
Yes. It didn't enjoy its trip,
No,
but
no.
it did it.
I went off-roading.
Yeah.
It's been across the Peak District. The loud little fuel-consuming ST.
On 60 roads that were about an inch either
Oh
side.
my god. But yeah, that's a lovely little car.
Yeah.
It's better than the Corsa that I used to have. Should we get away from car talk?
I don't know, that's awoken something. There was one time I was late coming here, not for a podcast. I can't remember what we're doing. Might have been painting or playing something. And it was because I had to... where was I? I must have been across in town or something coming across because I had to go through the Tyne Tunnel.
Right. Ooh,
Yeah.
big distance.
Big distance.
Oh, wait, Tyne Tunnel?
Yeah.
Are you doxing us?
God damn it. I mean
any
tunnel.
other. David was on the Eurostar.
But it was me. And I heard this car pull up and I was like, oh, that sounds nice. But it was sort of thing where, like, if you hear someone's voice, even though you don't know it, and you're like, I know that voice or something. And I could hear it, and it was this high-pitched, like, not screaming, but it was like a high-pitched noise. Like, oh, that's just a whiff of JDM across there. And it was an R33 Skyline.
Oh!
Ooh!
Oh!
And again, it had been lowered. And it
Obviously.
had a big boy exhaust on it. And it was just me and this guy in the Tyne Tunnel. And he was just... I looked at him, and I'd never done this before. and I'm going to do it at any other opportunity I can because it was so nice to find someone else. We're both driving at the same thing, and I looked over and I gave him a look of like, ooh.
Yeah.
And he was like, you could tell it woke on something in him being like, oh, a friend.
A friend.
A friend. And I was in my 2-litre diesel.
Going back to the guy, this is how the rev and everything started, because I'd been like, hey pal, nice one, very nice car. Like, carry on, sorry, just go on.
That is what you do. You see a nice car and you appreciate it, and it's like, yes, we're friends now.
Yes.
But I did that, and I immediately like put the window down and put my car in a gear where I couldn't hear it. And he just went between first and second gear the entire way through this thing.
Didn't care about fuel.
Didn't care, because we were both in it together. Me and him to the ends of the earth. And I loved it so much that I followed him and missed my turning.
I thought you were going to say that you just drove off like Paul Walker.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. I realised, that was my turning. And then it was Paul Walker because... Oh, no, he had a Supra, didn't he? At the end of that.
Yeah, but, you know.
It's a 6-cylinder. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a thing of like... See you on the flip side.
See you when you're not dead.
But yeah, there's something quite primal about it. Which is...
But, like... This is also the thing about cars, where... If it's not warranted, or if it's not invited, it's kind of like flashing somebody. Where you're just like, oh, fuck off. That is...
So obnoxious.
Yeah, so obnoxious. Like, from where I work,
yes,
there's a long straight road, and people love to blast the fuck out of their engines down it, which is really fun when you work on a microphone to the outside.
Oh yeah.
That's just a common thing where people just like blame the engine, hit a few pops, really nice big
pops and bangs,
big crackle pops, and I just have to go, sorry about that.
Didn't catch that.
So, 16 frosties.
Don't tell them where you work.
I don't. Oh shit. I mean.
I would like 16 big coffees.
16 glasses of water. Oh.
I don't know, whatever else costed it. I mean. No, yeah, I know what you mean. Because it's sort of a running joke of whenever you hear a loud car, everyone who doesn't get cars, the immediate response is, what a tiny penis that man must have. It's like, he's not doing it for you. Well, he's doing it is for me. He's doing it for me because I like it. And probably he's doing it for him because he bought the car.
He's probably sat in his car just going, bam, 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 bam. He's clenched the steering wheel and he's been like, oh, fast.
Yeah.
Multi-brain engaged. Like, don't get us wrong, I'm also one of these people who are just like, you have a massive penis, sir. You have the biggest penis ever. But that's usually for the people who have, again, bought the car.
Yeah.
It's a different thing. If
It
you
is.
do your own.
We're definitely gatekeeping. But so
what? No fucking us.
Us. Gatekeepers on this hill dying.
And on that note, I need another pee.
My dad's got ghost club in the woods tonight, so there's no sheets on my bed.
My wife died of curry. You fuck!
No, David, you're thinking of a feral horse. That's Bethan. What were you going to say before?
Oh, yes. It's that segment we do.
The segment?
Yeah, well, this has to be paid for somehow.
Obviously.
So every week we have a sponsor. This one's actually a household name. Let me paint you a picture. You're making some food. It contains an egg, right? Contains an egg. And wouldn't you believe it? You drop the egg, hits the floor.
I hate when that happens.
And you think, for God's sake, I've got to clean that up. You don't want to use paper towels because they just go to mush. You don't want to use a good towel because that's your good towels. Those go on your hands and face. So our sponsor today is Old Towels. Old towels.
Are we talking just tea towels or regular?
Bit of both. The main sponsorship came from tea towels. The ones that you would clean up an egg with. The ones that already have holes in started off one colour and changed.
Now, I have two sets of old tea towels, David.
Yes.
Are you trying to tell me that both Holy and Frayed are sponsoring us?
Yes, actually. Frayed took some getting. Hold, fine. I think they're really struggling at the minute for any
Don't
sort
say
of...
that during the ad.
They're both doing very well, and that's why they've asked us to talk about them.
I mean, we always are advocates for sharing the wealth of frayed and hold tea towels.
Of course.
But this time it's finally nice to directly give back to the listener.
It makes a difference. To make a difference to someone's life really does.
So to really help with that difference, David, what's the discount code?
Fuck you. Good evening, frayed and hold boys. 2022.
Frayed and hold boys.
Frayed and hold boys. 2022
To get
for
10%.
10% off with our discount code on their website.
On their website.
Yeah.
Frayed
and hold tea towels
at slash
.org
.gov
.ed
frayed and hold boys
slash
2021 2.
2021 and 2.
Yes. Use the discount code.
Yeah.
Also subscribe to the Patreon.
Like, turn on the TV, they hit the Pentagon! They hit the fucking... If you hate Roblox and you think it's garbage and childish, then get off my face.
Oh, we're back.
What was that story you were telling about? The one that cut in halfway through. The listeners didn't get the first half.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was during the ad spot. That was past now.
Sorry, yeah.
We're back after the ad. I hope you enjoyed the ad. We don't know what that was
What
about.
was it? This
I don't know. Probably something from a great Raycon.
Raycon.
Yeah.
Bade Mado Legends.
You
We'll
could
find
say the name.
Can we?
Yeah.
Damn it.
They're not going to sue for saying
But
it.
I don't want to.
Don't want to give them more free press. that
Free
bastards.
press. They can pay me for that.
So we're back. We're back to the regular spot of after the ad, the chill time. It's been
relax.
such a stressful podcast. It's been so angry. We've got cuppers, so if you hear banging on the table, expect it. It's been 8 episodes. This is cuppa time. We're gonna wrap up the podcast with a nice 20 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes or so of just
Chatting.
more of this, but this time with cuppers.
Slightly happier. We've gotten past the ad.
Yeah.
The bit that stresses us.
During cuppers, I just want to tell a little story. We got up, went for a couple of tinkles,
Yes.
and then David went before me, and then immediately went downstairs. Didn't think anything of it. Thought he was going to go see the boy. I go to the toilet and come downstairs and find David viciously
Attacking.
attacking my kitchen bench. David, what happened to the kitchen bench?
You don't own a normal kettle.
I don't. I own a fancy schmancy modern art piece.
That
Is a kettle.
That's what the sponsor will be next week.
Fancy kettles.
It had 2 buttons. I clicked one button and it made a noise that represented boiling water. And I thought, cool, I'll get the cups ready. In that time, it decided it had boiled and didn't let me know that it would just spit out the water as soon as it's ready.
So it's got 2 buttons. One is stop boiling and the other one is boil. The boil button boils 500 ml.
A standardised amount of water.
Yeah, per cup. Saves on wastage. It's very nice. However,
You need a cup in there.
no, for average Joe, just being like, yeah, this is fine. It's happened so many times where I'm just like, cup. I've put the coffee in the cup. I've put the tea in the cup. I've pushed the button. I've walked away. I've came back to a damp bench.
And that's exactly what happened, but with more stress, because I didn't think it was going to stop. So I turned around and suddenly I could just see and hear water pissing all over the bench and thinking, well, it's got 2 buttons. So I chucked a mug underneath to catch what was left and then ruined a tea towel with the other.
Oh well.
And that was that. We're back.
We're back. What did we talk about this episode? Because it was just a lot of it. It was a big angry blur.
Yes.
This is what happens when Bethan's not here.
Damn. We need a mediator
She
to
does.
push us along. I'm sure I wrote down some good things to talk about, but this is the wrap-up section. What were you
I
like?
mean, no. If you've got something to chat about, I just want to more so cover what we've went through. I mean, while you're looking, we talked about Grave Norton for quite some time.
Yes, we did.
What else? It was the midnight launches.
Yes.
Gatekeeping cars, which I know it never happens.
Imagine it might happen again.
Probably. I did actually want to talk about the Golf E after chatting about
The Golf E. Oh, right, okay. I thought you
the-
meant the sport. You know, Golf E.
Golf Extreme.
EA Golf.
It's in the golf.
It's in the golf.
Well, I do like the Golf E's. I think it's nice that they were like, we're not gonna do what Nissan have done and just get a Micra, rebrand it and call it
a
something.
Leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've just went, no, the same classic like shape that everyone.
It's a recognisable brand.
Yeah, everyone knows a Golf. Even when you see a Polo, you say, "Oh, look at that Golf."
Yeah, because that's the point now.
Yeah, the Golf E's are quite nice. Did you find anything in your book?
I'm intrigued by Golf E talk, but equally, we started this podcast and talked a little bit about your Fortnite tattoo.
Oh yes.
And within other friendship groups, a stirring has occurred about tattoos.
Mm.
And a few of them want them, and I'm one of them. And I've got an idea for one, and I kind of have ideas of where to put it, but I'm intrigued as to people's standpoints on video game tattoos.
Oh. Well, I mean, I've got two.
Yes. Bethan has one.
Bethan has one. So, Bethan has an Assassin's Creed tattoo. Ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha. No, because the first couple of them are good.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, and then I really like Black Flag. And then it kind of just stops. 3 was like good for killing time, but it wasn't amazing.
Yeah, you're playing the same game over and over
Yeah,
again.
you're just
after a
trudging
certain
through
amount of time.
snow in the woods for a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a Gears of War tattoo and the Bioshock chains on my wrist, done so badly by an apprentice for free that I've got one completely blacked out.
You know it's good quality when
It's
free.
good. It's good. What's your stand on video games? Because this is the thing. As much as I dislike how the tattoos of the chains on my wrists are done, I still really like the tattoos.
Yes.
If they were done nice, I would have never got them covered up. And I more so want to get them redone, so they are just better, and I still want them.
They're still there and better.
They were also my first tattoo.
Uh-huh.
My Gears of War one I still love. Like it's still such a. It's one of those. It's not just a game tattoo. It was like, no, this was.
You growing up.
Yeah, it was a lot of time spent in being like, oh shit, yeah, games.
Yeah.
And then like finding the love and.
It signifies an interest in a hobby.
Yeah, and it was one of the
Yeah.
few ones I was like, as soon as I played Gears of War, I loved Gears of War. I looked at the symbol all the time. I talked about it all the time. I got to 18 and was still like, fuck yeah, Gears of War.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, it's still a stupid thing for an 18-year-old to get.
But the fact that it made it to 18 means it's not.
Yeah.
Like, if I think of the tattoos that I wanted when I was 12, 14, 16, there's no way in hell I would want them now.
No.
But when it's like, gets to 18, you're like, I know it, I've seen it, and I still want it.
Yeah,
It's
and
different.
Like, you are still. I don't know. I just think I find that a lot of people in their mid-20s just all of a sudden stop caring about what other people think
Yeah.
because they've now went, oh yeah, bills, life, people die. This is shit. So if you're getting a tattoo that when you were 18, you're still quite conscious about yourself. There's like if you're single, if anything like social circles or anything, a gaming tattoo is a big leap.
Yes.
However, though, if you still like, for me, I don't care, and if somebody was to mock me because of not like the Fortnite tattoo is funny and like I can openly mock myself, but if someone was Graham Norton and me about my Gears of War tattoo, I'd just be like, sick, I'll never talk to this person ever again, and I don't care.
You're a negative person. You will never be in my life.
Yeah, cool. It's like the same people who go, I don't like tattoos, and they tell me, and I go, sick.
Cool,
I'm
man.
glad they're not on you then. Like,
You must be really happy with yourself right now.
Cool. Sorry, what were you going to say about?
I've already forgotten. What was I talking about?
You were talking about like with friends and.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my friends want them, and I think that's definitely something that I think means that a lot of people don't get them is because you don't see a lot of people with them. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Especially the ones that you would get.
Yeah.
So having friends that have them and ones that want them makes a difference and makes you kind of be like, oh yeah, I could just get these. Mm-hmm. And as long as I'm okay with it, that's fine. Hang on a minute. Wait a minute.
Like, I also have one ear expanded. I forget about that all the time. I forget I have it. It never gets brought up in conversation. However, the rare times it does get brought up, I care very little for your point.
I see.
Because you didn't go through the pain of expanding your ear, so who cares what you think? Like, I know it's not for everybody. I know for a lot of people it's like, that's minging or what, because it is a quite a, it's not just a piercing, it's a full body modification. Like, you are stretching flesh. Mm-hmm. However, like, it's not in the middle of my nose. It's not showing teeth through my mouth.
Yes.
Like, it is in my ear where many people get more than one piercing.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. That is the standard place to get one.
Yeah, because it's not on your face. It's slightly off, and whatever. Like,
yeah. I think this is a time.
This is directed at my Auntie Catherine, who just goes, and I go, yeah, you're
cool,
wearing
man.
pink trousers. Get the fuck out of here.
You just like this.
Love you really.
But not your pink trousers.
Not your pink trousers.
Change them.
Fucking.
No, I know exactly what you mean. And
Like, don't get us wrong, Dave. I don't think I could ever imagine you getting an expander.
no, I don't think it would suit me. Not that it wouldn't suit me. I just don't. I'm not that bothered.
No.
No.
It's also, it really hurts.
Yeah, it would be a lot of
fucking
effort for
sucks.
something that I'm not that bothered
Yeah.
about.
The worst one was I had to re-pierce this ear to do it.
Oh yeah.
Fucking hurts. It's the same thing with tattoos though. Like,
Yeah.
I get it's not for everybody.
Yes.
However, you don't have to look at them. You don't have like for my job, I wear a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So a lot of my tattoos are on display.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm serving coffee.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
One, it doesn't matter, and two, a lot of places are now being like, "Hey, they're doing their jobs, you know."
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter if you can see a tattoo.
No, and for the thing that was always told growing up as well was like, sorry, there was just a big burp.
And a second. Is that a third?
Oh. The thing that was always told growing up was never on the face, never on the neck, never on the hands. Basically, everything that could possibly be visible at any point, don't get it done.
Yeah.
However, and I'm going to get into gatekeeping again, and I don't know if I've talked about this before.
Oh yeah.
However, I'm going to talk about it again, is getting a tattoo and it being one of your first tattoos directly on the back of the hand.
Okay.
Or like having no tattoos on your arm at all.
It's a definite...
except smack bang.
It's a leap. That's a leap.
But that's also the current trend.
Yeah.
Is to get the rose.
These. A lot. I've seen lots of people get trendy tattoos of like a symbol on this finger. Of this,
Really?
on this, but for those who are
dots.
listening, aka the listeners, I'm pointing to any of my fingers in between your first and second knuckle.
Yeah. So you get it's gone from from knuckle to middle joint.
Yeah.
That is quite a bold. There's usually letters there because you put the fists together.
Yes.
The middle ones have started to become almost like art pieces, like
Yes,
doodle pads.
100%.
Where it's like you do realise that that bit of skin is constantly in movement,
Always
it's
friction.
constantly regenerating cells, so it's going to lose its ink
Yeah, it's gonna fade.
quite fast. And also it's your hands, like they constantly rub off things, they constantly get cut or scarred or anything, and then but they're also the size of.
It's usually those. I've drawn a picture of what I've seen on multiple fingers, like that across here.
It's
It's an art
if
piece.
if you've got it, you're probably into astrology.
It's the equivalent of when you've got a tattoo here and it's just that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a couple of lines. Or
Yeah.
anything. Because this is also
It's
what I was
trendy.
going to say about the fingers though.
Mm.
Because when you
Stretch them.
yeah when you tighten your hands, when you make a fist or when you extend them,
Yeah.
it compresses and tightens the skin. And however, though, it's such a small canvas
Uh-huh.
that to get anything more than a doodle or a letter or a full
Yeah.
black piece or just something that is a bit more like even a fucking bold black line
Yeah.
is better than the single line that your mates brought out at a house party
Yeah.
and is doodled on your fingers. Like getting the traditional diamond on a middle knuckle
Yeah.
is chavvy, yes, but if done well with other tattoos on your fingers, quite
Yeah.
nice. I've seen a lot of pieces where it's traditional small art pieces, like an arrow going through the flesh then back out the other side,
Yeah.
or a dagger. I've seen a lot of playing cards in like full colour on
Yeah.
the knuckles, and I think yes, that looks unreal
Yeah.
until that red bleeds through and just stretches everything out.
All
and
of the light
looks-
colours go out.
just goes because
Yeah.
it's your hands.
Yeah.
It's your fucking hand. I bet all the people with mustache tattoos on their fingers really love those. Because it's like, if you do, by the way, again, any research before getting a
Yeah.
tattoo, please do research. Don't just think you can put numbing cream on it and then make it fine. That's not how numbing cream works. Wait till they find out they have to break skin first before you can put it on. Oh, the tattoo artist is going to laugh at you. Also, if you walk in thinking it's tattoo fixers, you'll be laughed out. If you're going there, hi, I've got this idea, I want you to throw up like 3 sketches for us and I'll pick the best. It's like, mate, I've got 6 clients today. Fuck off.
I'll do that if you pay me a lot.
I'll do that. If
This
you
is
pay
my
me for
job, sir.
A full day's worth of
Yeah.
tattooing and then probably double that for the time it takes for me to make 3 doodles and you pick the best. But then without giving any, like, I want this style and I want this style with this piece, and see if you just talk with your tattoo artist,
Yeah.
it's absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
But just to walk in and be like, I want this because I've seen it on Instagram. Oh boy. Seeing something on Instagram that you like is fine because it's just
Yeah.
the new hub place for. Remember, like DeviantArt.
Yeah.
Just it was like stock images. Just images are posted there. Instagram is like streamlined that
Yes.
to a point where you can go on your explore page.
It's
go in-
all for you.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Traditional tattoos. There it is. There's all it is, and the panthers and all the nice pretty reds. And I can look at that all day and go, yum yum yum. I like all of this. However, if I go in there with this exact tattoo, I have somebody else's tattoo.
Yeah. Also, like, I have a problem that if I see something that I want to do, something I want to try, start anything, I'll spend a good few days researching all of it to like a. I know now, it's crazy, isn't it?
Warhammer and surfing.
Yeah, Warhammer and surfing and cars and Minecraft, anything.
Yeah, anything.
So obviously, upon being like, I hate the idea of being like, oh, I quite fancy this, and that's where it stops. And if asked about it, your answer is, oh, well, I quite fancy it. It's like, no, you like it, so explore what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I've watched as many YouTube videos as I can on like people talk, like tattoo artists being like first tattoos, where to get them, what to say, what not to say, what to expect, all that sort of stuff. And a leading thing is like, if you go into a tattoo parlor, one, you should already know the tattoo parlor and do your research on who you're going to. But if they're most likely an artist, who have built up a craft in being an artist. So being like, I've seen this picture, can you copy it? Is saying, can you copy that person's work and just put it on my body? And then obviously I'll post it and be like, I got it done here. And no, that's not cool. It's
there's full artists who are like, I tattoo what I can.
Yes.
Which is usually a lot of like black line work.
Mm-hmm.
Just here's a picture that I've done in black lines. There you go.
Yeah.
But for like my guy or any other, there's the few guys I know. There's my guy likes doing new things, so we'll chat about it and where to put it and what to do. But he really likes doing anime shit.
Yes.
He likes the vibrant colour. He likes the big poppy eyes. He just gets to be creative and just because he says if it was up to him, that's all he'd do all day every day. But he doesn't have enough of a following. Where there's another guy who I know who really likes doing old Cartoon Network stuff.
Nice.
Again, loves the poppy colours, loves doing all this, which then also ventures into Pokemon, which is more anime.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of tattoo artists who really like doing cartoon work, but just end up doing, can I have this lotus?
Lions.
Can I have a lion? Can I have this
Can I have
rose?
a lion on my shoulder?
Yeah. Can I have it on the back of my hand?
Can I have a rose on the back of my hand?
Yeah. Can I have a clock on my shoulder?
Shut up, Beth.
Bitch. She's not here to defend herself. Ha ha!
I was going to try and make a time joke, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. But yeah, tattoos. I'm enjoying that more people, especially with like... So in the past month or so, I've put a lot more time into watching the streamers rather than videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that has massively helped with seeing a lot of people that I don't want to say think the same way I do, but have the same sense of humour, watch the same things, play the same games, have the same sort of feelings about what's going on and what can change and that sort of thing. Not like activists or anything. But their view on tattoos is a lot more open than anything you get when you're growing up.
Mm-hmm. Like,
I know that my dad has tattoos, doesn't know about them. I know that my mum hates tattoos and has openly said, if you get a tattoo, I will cut it out with a knife. I know that, it's that thing. So seeing people that are like, one, my age, two, are like in a similar sort of headspace, and three, don't see it as a show-off thing, but see it as like a thing that they really enjoy. Like, there's one streamer who put it really well. She has, I think when she was a kid, she had like scoliosis or something. Okay. So like major back problems. And she was like, when you're born, you are given a really crappy apartment to live in. And as you grow up, you have to make it bigger or what you want it to be. You have to make it as pretty for you as you possibly can because you're going to live in it. Mm-hmm. Irrelevant of if it's got structural problems or not. Mm-hmm. So if putting a picture on your wall of where you live is going to make you feel happy looking at it, that's what you're going to do, because that's what you're in. So everything else, chuck it out the window. If you want it and you think you're going to enjoy it, then do it. And it was that sort of thing of like talking down the idea of people saying, well, it's on your body forever. It's like, I know.
Yeah. Not yours though.
Not yours.
No.
But I've got cuts in my knees that will scar and be there forever from falling over.
Yeah.
And I don't think about that.
No.
I've got my hairline that I hope will be forever.
We all.
I've got teeth in my head that I don't quite like that will be in my body for it. Plus, things being permanent is a lie. Like, it's on my skin until I have a car crash and that bit of skin gets burnt or something like that. Like if you really, want to get into it.
Yeah.
Like if I had that tattoo there, when I had the airbag go off, that got burnt, so that would have gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, when people say it's on your body forever, understand where it's coming from, but it doesn't mean anything.
It's probably them speaking out their own insecurities about a tattoo. Being like, yeah, it is, but it's a leap that, although for some people if they explicitly aren't like, I hate tattoos,
yes,
but they're just like, but it's on your body forever.
Yeah,
it's like, well, no, it's just the difference is I'm taking the leap.
Yeah. That makes sense. It's very
getting a tattoo that you want.
Yeah, it's sort of like putting your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, even more so getting a tattoo that means something to you,
Yes.
or even like just not following the trend of the full black and white sleeve and the full like the cloud and the mist, and it was the same with the tribals. Like I've got plenty of tattoos that realistically don't mean anything. They're just art that I like, that I wanted on my body, and it incorporates nicely into what I've already got.
Yes.
However, because I like the art, it then becomes something
Yes.
to me, where I've got a cloud with a lightning bolt coming out of it. It means nothing. However, I got it at a time where things weren't the best, and I remember that time because I got this tattoo. And I'm like, well, now it has meaning.
Yeah.
Or like, I have a huge fucking singular dead tree up my forearm. I love trees. I love everything. However, it means nothing.
Yeah.
It is just a tree with bare branches. However, I've had so many people compliment it.
Yes.
It then makes it like, oh, this is now a thing. This is like the tree. It is a nice piece of art that I can now appreciate, and I know other people
like it.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything that they like it.
No.
However, it's just like sound. You're not going to just be like, is that a tree?
Yeah.
Also, here's another thing. If you haven't got tattoos, if you haven't got them, and you ask somebody with tattoos, what do your tattoos mean? Just don't do that
Don't
shit.
do it.
Just don't
Do
that
not do
shit.
it.
Because genuinely, it's like what does your post say?
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with
Yeah.
you. Like,
Best case scenario,
If you're
they'll
close.
give you a nice story, or I just like the picture. Worst case scenario is you either get a very sad story about, oh, I got this tattoo because such and such died.
yeah, like
There,
if it
that's
says,
that shit. Like,
yeah, if it says like "Mum
yeah,
080
Yeah.
2021,"
Yeah.
that's a tattoo. You're like, oh well.
oh crap,
yeah,
right?
I get it, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know how. I've got pointless tattoos. I've got a fucking cow getting abducted by a spaceship on my arm.
So does my brother.
Ha, Chris.
Ah, Chris,
Ha,
we
Chris.
all know.
So does your nana. But for it's just a weird thing to go up to somebody that you don't know, a complete stranger. It's it doesn't help that I work in the area that I work in where it is invited for strangers to talk.
Yeah.
But it is surprising the amount of people who are just like, picture, what does that mean? And well, I could tell you, I could explain every single point about this tattoo, but in reality, you don't care.
And realistically, you need to leave.
Because
I'll sit you down. Take that seat over there.
Yeah.
Just cover me for about 20 minutes. Yep.
because it is a question with no right answer.
Yeah.
What does this mean? I can tell you, but
Depends on the-
in my circumstances, you don't know and you don't care.
Depends on the day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So that was the wrap.
That was the wrap
That
up.
was
I
the
might get a tattoo.
David's getting a tattoo.
And
He's getting a
you-
full back piece.
You can vote on what it is.
only if you're on the Patreon. Yes.
That's the point. If we have a Patreon by now, I'll put a picture of what it might be. Ooh.
That's a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of
Don't
pressure.
do that, David. That's anxiety.
I know what it is. I just don't know where it's going to be.
What were you thinking?
I really want it here. But that is super painful.
Right, David's gesturing.
I've pointed
to
to my
his
inner ribs underneath my arm because it's a big bit of skin. It's a bit of skin that has no hair on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit of skin that sees little to no sun and has little chafage. However, it's on ribs.
One of the most painful places to get tattooed.
Yes.
I wouldn't start there
Yeah.
because I don't know. I don't think it's going to put you off. However, it won't incentivise you for the next
Yeah.
one. See, for me, as I say, my first ones were on my wrists.
Yeah.
Those hurt.
Yeah. It's like there and there that are super painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real painful, and it's like hot, burning. It goes from between a cat scratch to somebody lighting a match and just putting it out on you.
Mm-hmm.
It is a hot, scratchy burn. And to get that on thin flesh directly onto bone, And David, you're a slim lad. So that's going directly onto bone. That will fucking suck.
It's gonna be about, like, bigger than a palm. Like, I've got... Okay, this is the nerd part of me. Because I've put time into it, I've drawn what I want it to be. Or at least close to. It's gonna be that, but bigger. It's a little lizard from Dark Souls 3.
Fuck yeah, is it the Titanite?
It's the Titanite lizard. Because it's... Dark Souls 3 is one of my most favourite games ever. And there's a lot of iconography that goes around with Dark Souls 3. There's a lot of, like, there's the bonfires, there's the Praise the Sun, there's all of that sort of stuff that you can get. But the best part of it is you go through horrible bits of game that you do enjoy, and then you see a little lizard, and you're like, ooh. And it does a little run.
And he gets away
And
because
he
he's
gets
clipped through the wall.
and he gets away, and you go, ooh, next time. But he's got a little crystal on him. And it's the coolest part of it because it's that thing of like, we're just going to give you a little endorphin rush. You've had a hard time. Here's your serotonin. And yeah, he's a little lizard from the game holding a Titanite bit. But yeah, it would be that big. Probably.
He was out. Just a little idea to go along with the tattoo.
Yes.
Just because this is also the thing of once you start getting tattoos, you're like, okay, what's the best way for it to look? You know, when you paint Warhammer,
In amongst other things.
Yeah, like how does it look natural? So for that, it's quite round.
Yes.
On quite a large portion.
Yes.
So little chunks of crystal
Dotted around
it, I think would like.
Well, that's the thing.
Bring it out quite nice.
I've drawn it with the idea of when I get it, I'll have to. I know, like, there's a few tattoo artists, and obviously you have your guy, which I think would be a go-to. But obviously, I'd want to spend time being like, this is what I have as an idea, and my checklists are in these places, and I want these colours, and basically it should look like this. What would your professional opinion be?
Yeah.
On what you would make it look better, because obviously you're the professional and I'm not. So yeah, stuff like that would be good for it to not just look like it's there, like a sticker. So yeah, I know what you mean. I just drew that because that's like the basic is there. As long as it has these bits in it, that's what I want.
I love it.
But yeah, as you say, ribs, bit of a bugger,
bit of a suck. And I think on that
that note,
what David's trying to say is, listen to professionals like doctors, you anti-vaxxers. Oh, this is a big quality. Thank you very much for listening. If you haven't subscribed already, I mean, click. It's literally nothing.
it's right there.
It's right there. I mean, do it.
If you can.
You
No,
can.
just do it. You can do it.
You can do
It's one click, and it'll do nothing but help you.
And if you're doing it, you might as well like.
Yeah.
And while you're there, you might as well go over to the socials. Get us out of our day jobs. Subscribe to the Patreon. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much for listening.
We understand it was quite an angry one, but I mean, if you've gotten this far, you know we'll go on a tangent and get angry and gay t-shirts. So, do you have anything you want to say?
Nah.
No, nothing.
Nah.
I think we've talked enough.
I think so. We'll see you later.
We'll see you next week. Definitely on a Monday.
Definitely on a Monday.
Good evening, boys.
Good evening, boys.